Hey, what's up? We're gonna start this stream by watching Andrej Karpathy's "Software is Changing" talk. Apparently, this is pretty good. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing, but I'm gonna let it play at least while I set up stream. So.
Okay, yeah, so I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about software in the era of AI. And I'm told that many of you are students, like bachelor's, master's, PhD, and so on, and you're about to enter the industry. And I think it's actually like an extremely unique and very interesting time to enter the industry right now. And I think fundamentally the reason for that is that software is changing again. And I say again because I actually gave this talk already. But the problem is that software keeps changing, so I actually have a lot of material to create new talks. And I think it's changing quite fundamentally.
Alright, turns out I can't like play it while doing other stuff, so we're just gonna have to look at me, I guess, while I set up stream. Sorry, it should only take a few minutes as always. That's a shame. Bear with me. Okay, almost done. Okay, I think we're good. Not sure if chat is working. Let me just double check. Wait, can I click? Wait, can I? Yes. Oh, Mr. Grades, hey, sorry. I think chat wasn't working when you typed that, but we're good now. We're good now. Let's put it on. All right. All right, Andrej Karpathy.
I think, roughly speaking, software has not changed much on such a fundamental level for 70 years. And then it's changed, I think, about twice quite rapidly in the last few years. And so there's just a huge amount of work to do, a huge amount of software to write and rewrite. So let's take a look at maybe the realm of software. So if we kind of think of this as like the map of software, this is a really cool tool called Map of GitHub. This is kind of like all the software that's written. These are instructions to the computer for carrying out tasks in the digital space. So if you zoom in here, these are all different kinds of repositories, and this is all the code that has been written. And a few years ago, I kind of observed that software was kind of changing, and there was kind of like a new type of software around, and I called this Software 2.0 at the time. And the idea here was that Software 1.0 is the code you write for the computer. Software 2.0 are basically neural networks, and in particular, the weights of a neural network. And you're not writing this code directly. You are more kind of like tuning the data sets, and then you're running an optimizer to create the parameters of this neural net. And I think like at the time, neural nets were kind of seen as like just a different kind of classifier, like a decision tree or something like that. And so I think it was kind of like, I think this framing was a lot more appropriate. And now, actually, what we have is kind of like an equivalent of GitHub in the realm of Software 2.0. And I think the Hugging Face is basically equivalent of GitHub in Software 2.0. And there's also Model Atlas, and you can visualize all the code written there. In case you're curious, by the way, the giant circle, the point in the middle, these are the parameters of Flux, the image generator. And so anytime someone tunes a LoRa on top of a Flux model, you basically create a git commit in this space, and you create a different kind of image generator. So basically what we have is Software 1.0 is the computer code that programs a computer. Software 2.0 are the weights which program neural networks. And here's an example of AlexNet image recognizer neural network. Now, so far, all of the neural networks that we've been familiar with until recently were kind of like fixed function computers, image to categories or something like that. And I think what's changed, and I think is a quite fundamental change, is that neural networks became programmable with large language models. And so I see this as quite new, unique, It's a new kind of a computer. And so in my mind, it's worth giving it a new designation of software 3.0. And basically, your prompts are now programs that program the LLM. And remarkably, these prompts are written in English. So it's kind of a very interesting programming language. So maybe to summarize the difference, if you're doing sentiment classification, for example, you can imagine writing some amount of Python to basically do sentiment classification, or you can train a neural net, or you can prompt a large language model. So here, this is a few-shot prompt, and you can imagine changing it and programming the computer in a slightly different way. So basically, we have software 1.0, software 2.0, and I think we're seeing, maybe you've seen a lot of GitHub code is not just like code anymore. There's a bunch of like English interspersed with code. And so I think kind of there's a growing category of new kind of code. So not only is it a new programming paradigm, it's also remarkable to me that it's in our native language of English. And so when this blew my mind a few, I guess, years ago now, I tweeted this, and I think it captured the attention of a lot of people, and this is my currently pinned tweet, is that remarkably, we're now programming computers in English. Now, when I was at Tesla, we were working on the autopilot, and we were trying to get the car to drive. And I sort of showed the slide at the time where you can imagine that the inputs to the car are on the bottom, and they're going through a software stack to produce the steering and acceleration. And I made the observation at the time that there was a ton of C++ code around in the autopilot, which was the software 1.0 code, and then there was some neural nets in there doing image recognition. And I kind of observed that over time, as we made the autopilot better, basically the neural network grew in capability and size, and in addition to that, all the C++ code was being deleted and kind of like was, and a lot of the kind of capabilities and functionality that was originally written in 1.0 was migrated to 2.0. So as an example, a lot of the stitching up of information across images from the different cameras and across time was done by a neural network, and we were able to delete a lot of code. And so the software 2.0 stack quite literally ate through the software stack of the autopilot. So I thought this was really remarkable at the time. And I think we're seeing the same thing again, where basically we have a new kind of software and it's eating through the stack. We have three completely different programming paradigms. And I think if you're entering the industry, it's a very good idea to be fluent in all of them, because they all have slight pros and cons. And you may want to program some functionality in 1.0 or 2.0 or 3.0. Are you going to train a neural net? Are you going to just prompt an LLM? Should this be a piece of code that's explicit, etc.? So we all have to make these decisions and actually potentially fluidly transition between these paradigms. So what I wanted to get into now is, I want to, in the first part, talk about LLMs and how to kind of like think of this new paradigm and the ecosystem and what that looks like. Like what is this new computer? What does it look like? And what does the ecosystem look like? I was struck by this quote from Andrew Ng actually many years ago now, I think. And I think Andrew is going to be speaking right after me. But he said at the time, AI is the new electricity. And I do think that it kind of captures something very interesting in that LLMs certainly feel like they have properties of utilities right now. So LLM labs like OpenAI, Gemini, Anthropic, etc., they spend CapEx to train the LLMs, and this is kind of equivalent to building out a grid. And then there's OpEx to serve that intelligence over APIs to all of us. And this is done through metered access, where we pay per million tokens or something like that. And we have a lot of demands that are very utility-like demands out of this API. We demand low latency, high uptime, consistent quality, etc.
Alex, what's up?
In electricity, you would have a transfer switch, so you can transfer your electricity source from like grid and solar or battery or generator. In LLMs, we have maybe Open Router and easily switch between the different types of LLMs that exist. Because the LLMs are software, they don't compete for physical space. So it's okay to have basically like 6 electricity providers, and you can switch between them, right? Because they don't compete in such a direct way. And I think what's also a little fascinating, and we saw this in the last few days actually, a lot of the LLMs went down, and people were kind of like stuck and unable to work. And I think it's kind of fascinating to me that when the state-of-the-art LLMs go down, it's actually kind of like an intelligence brownout in the world. It's kind of like when the voltage is unreliable in the grid, and the planet just gets dumber the more reliance we have on these models, which already is like really dramatic and I think will continue to grow. But LLMs don't only have properties of utilities. I think it's also fair to say that they have some properties of fabs.
Franklin, what's up?
And the reason for this is that the CapEx required for building LLMs is actually quite large. It's not just like building some power station or something like that, right? You're investing a huge amount of money, and I think the tech tree and for the technology is growing quite rapidly. So we're in a world where we have sort of deep tech trees, research and development, secrets that are centralizing inside the LLM labs. But I think the analogy muddies a little bit also because, as I mentioned, this is software, and software is a bit less defensible because it is so malleable. And so I think it's just an interesting kind of thing to think about potentially. There's many analogies you can make, like a 4-nanometer process node maybe is something like a cluster with certain max flops. You can think about when you're using NVIDIA GPUs and you're only doing the software and you're not doing the hardware, that's kind of like the fabless model. But if you're actually also building your own hardware and you're training on TPUs if you're Google, that's kind of like the Intel model where you own your fab. So I think there's some analogies here that make sense. But actually, I think the analogy that makes the most sense, perhaps, is that in my mind, LLMs have very strong kind of analogies to operating systems. In that this is not just electricity or water. It's not something that comes out on a tap as a commodity. These are now increasingly complex software ecosystems, right? So they're not just like simple commodities like electricity. And it's kind of interesting to me that the ecosystem is shaping in a very similar kind of way, where you have a few closed source providers like Windows or Mac OS, and then you have an open source alternative like Linux. And I think for LLMs as well, we have a kind of a few competing closed source providers, and then maybe the Llama ecosystem is currently like maybe a close approximation to something that may grow into something like Linux. Again, I think it's still very early because these are just simple LLMs, but we're starting to see that these are going to get a lot more complicated. It's not just about the LLM itself, it's about all the tool use and multimodalities and how all of that works. And so when I sort of had this realization a while back, I tried to sketch it out, and it kind of seemed to me like LLMs are kind of like a new operating system, right? So the LLM is a new kind of a computer. It's kind of like the CPU equivalent. The context windows are kind of like the memory. And then the LLM is orchestrating memory and compute for problem solving using all of these capabilities here. And so definitely, if you look at it, it looks very much like operating system from that perspective. A few more analogies. For example, if you want to download an app, say I go to VS Code and I go to download, you can download VS Code and you can run it on Windows, Linux, or Mac in the same way as you can take an LLM app like Cursor, and you can run it on GPT or Claude or Gemini series, right? It's just a drop-down. So it's kind of like similar in that way as well. More analogies that I think strike me is that we're kind of like in this 1960s-ish era where LLM compute is still very expensive for this new kind of a computer. And that forces the LLMs to be centralized in the cloud, and we're all just sort of thin clients that interact with it over the network. And none of us have full utilization of these computers, and therefore it makes sense to use time sharing where we're all just a dimension of the batch when they're running the computer in the cloud. And this is very much what computers used to look like during this time. The operating systems were in the cloud, everything was streamed around, and there was batching.
MCP,
and so the personal computing revolution hasn't happened yet because it's just not economical, it doesn't make sense. But I think some people are trying. And it turns out that Mac Minis, for example, are a very good fit for some of the LLMs because it's all, if you're doing batch one inference, this is all super memory bound, so this actually works. And I think these are some early indications maybe of personal computing, but this hasn't really happened yet. It's not clear what this looks like. Maybe some of you get to invent what this is or how it works or what this should be. Maybe one more analogy that I'll mention is whenever I talk to ChatGPT or some LLM directly in text, I feel like I'm talking to an operating system through the terminal. Like it's text, it's direct access to the operating system. And I think a GUI hasn't yet really been invented in like a general way. Like, should ChatGPT have a GUI, like different than just the text bubbles? Certainly some of the apps that we're gonna go into in a bit have GUI, but there's no like GUI across all the tasks, if that makes sense. There are some ways in which LLMs are different from kind of operating systems in some fairly unique way and from early computing. And I wrote about this one particular property that strikes me as very different this time around. It's that LLMs like flip the direction of technology diffusion that is usually present in technology. So for example, with electricity, cryptography, computing, flight, internet, GPS, lots of new transformative technologies that have not been around, typically it is the government and corporations that are the first users because it's new and expensive, etc. And it only later diffuses to consumer. But I feel like LLMs are kind of like flipped around. So maybe with early computers, it was all about ballistics and military use. But with LLMs, it's all about how do you boil an egg or something like that. This is certainly like a lot of my use. And so it's really fascinating to me that we have a new magical computer and it's like helping me boil an egg. It's not helping the government do something really crazy like some military ballistics or some special technology. Indeed, corporations or governments are lagging behind the adoption of all of us, of all of these technologies. So it's just backwards. And I think it informs maybe some of the uses of how we want to use this technology, or like what are some of the first apps and so on. So in summary so far, LLM Labs, fab LLMs, I think it's accurate language to use, but LLMs are complicated operating systems. They're circa 1960s in computing, and we're redoing computing all over again. And they're currently available via time sharing and distributed like a utility. What is new and unprecedented is that they're not in the hands of a few governments and corporations. They're in the hands of all of us because we all have a computer and it's all just software. And ChatGPT was beamed down to our computers like to billions of people like instantly and overnight. And this is insane. And it's kind of insane to me that this is the case. And now it is our time to enter the industry and program these computers. This is crazy. So I think this is quite remarkable. Before we program LLMs, we have to kind of like spend some time to think about what these things are. And I especially like to kind of talk about their psychology. So the way I like to think about LLMs is that they're kind of like people spirits. They are stochastic simulations of people. And the simulator in this case happens to be an autoregressive transformer. So a transformer is a neural net. And it just kind of like goes on the level of tokens. It goes chunk, 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 chunk. And there's an almost equal amount of compute for every single chunk. This simulator, of course, is basically there's some weights involved, and we fit it to all of text that we have on the internet and so on. And you end up with this kind of a simulator. And because it is trained on humans, it's got this emergent psychology that is human-like. So the first thing you'll notice is, of course, LLMs have encyclopedic knowledge and memory, and they can remember lots of things, a lot more than any single individual human can because they've read so many things. It actually kind of reminds me of this movie, Rain Man, which I actually really recommend people watch. It's an amazing movie. I love this movie. And Dustin Hoffman here is an autistic savant who has almost perfect memory. So he can read he can read like a phone book and remember all of the names and phone numbers. And I kind of feel like LLMs are kind of like very similar. They can remember SHA hashes and lots of different kinds of things very, very easily. So they certainly have superpowers in some respects, but they also have a bunch of, I would say, cognitive deficits. So they hallucinate quite a bit, and they kind of make up stuff and don't have a very good sort of internal model of self-knowledge, not sufficient at least. And this has gotten better, but not perfect. They display jagged intelligence. So they're going to be superhuman in some problem-solving domains, and then they're going to make mistakes that basically no human will make. Like, they will insist that 9.11 is greater than 9.9, or that there are 2 R's in strawberry. These are some famous examples. But basically, there are rough edges that you can trip on. So that's kind of, I think, also kind of unique. They also kind of suffer from anterograde amnesia. And I think I'm alluding to the fact that if you have a coworker who joins your organization, this coworker will, over time, learn your organization, and they will understand and gain like a huge amount of context on the organization, and they go home and they sleep and they consolidate knowledge and they develop expertise over time. LLMs don't natively do this, and this is not something that has really been solved in the R&D of LLMs, I think. And so context windows are really kind of like working memory, and you have to sort of program the working memory quite directly because they don't just kind of like get smarter by default. And I think a lot of people get tripped up by the analogies in this way. In popular culture, I recommend people watch these 2 movies, Memento and 50 First Dates. In both of these movies, the protagonists, their weights are fixed and their context windows gets wiped every single morning. And it's really problematic to go to work or have relationships when this happens. And this happens to LLMs all the time. I guess one more thing I would point to is security kind of related limitations of the use of LLMs. So for example, LLMs are quite gullible. They are susceptible to prompt injection risks. They might leak your data, etc. And so, and there's many other considerations security related. So basically, long story short, you have to simultaneously think through this superhuman thing that has a bunch of cognitive deficits and issues. And yet they are extremely useful. And so how do we program them And how do we work around their deficits and enjoy their superhuman powers? So what I want to switch to now is talk about the opportunities of how do we use these models and what are some of the biggest opportunities. This is not a comprehensive list, just some of the things that I thought were interesting for this talk. The first thing I'm kind of excited about is what I would call partial autonomy apps. So for example, let's work with the example of coding. You can certainly go to ChatGPT directly, and you can start copy-pasting code around, and copy-pasting bug reports and stuff around, and getting code and copy-pasting everything around. Why would you do that? Why would you go directly to the operating system? It makes a lot more sense to have an app dedicated for this. And so I think many of you use Cursor. I do as well. Cursor is kind of like the thing you want instead. You don't want to just directly go to the ChatGPT. And I think Cursor is a very good example of an early LLM app that has a bunch of properties that I think are useful across all the LLM apps. So in particular, you will notice that we have a traditional interface that allows a human to go in and do all the work manually, just as before. But in addition to that, we now have this LLM integration that allows us to go in bigger chunks. And so some of the properties of LLM apps that I think are shared and useful to point out. Number one, the LLMs basically do a ton of the context management. Number two, they orchestrate multiple calls to LLMs, right? So in the case of Cursor, there's under the hood embedding models for all your files, the actual chat models, models that apply diffs to the code, and this is all orchestrated for you. A really big one that I think also maybe not fully appreciated always is application-specific GUI and the importance of it. Because you don't just want to talk to the operating system directly in text. Text is very hard to read, interpret, understand, and also like you don't want to take some of these actions natively in text. So it's much better to just see a diff as like red and green change, and you can see what's being added and subtracted. It's much easier to just do Command Y to accept or Command N to reject. I shouldn't have to type it in text, right? So GUI allows a human to audit the work of these fallible systems and to go faster. I'm going to come back to this point a little bit later as well. And the last kind of feature I want to point out is that there's what I call the autonomy slider. So for example, in Cursor, you can just do tab completion. You're mostly in charge. You can select a chunk of code and Command K to change just that chunk of code. You can do Command L to change the entire file, or you can do Command I, which just let it rip, do whatever you want in the entire repo. And that's the sort of full autonomy agentic version. And so you are in charge of the autonomy slider, and depending on the complexity of the task at hand, you can tune the amount of autonomy that you're willing to give up for that task. Maybe to show one more example of a fairly successful LLM app, Perplexity. It also has very similar features to what I just pointed out in Cursor. It packages up a lot of the information, it orchestrates multiple LLMs, it's got a GUI that allows you to audit some of its work. So for example, it will cite sources, and you can imagine inspecting them, and it's got an autonomy slider. You can either just do a quick search, or you can do research, or you can do deep research and come back 10 minutes later. So this is all just varying levels of autonomy that you give up to the tool. So I guess my question is, I feel like a lot of software will become partially autonomous. And I'm trying to think through what does that look like? And for many of you who maintain products and services, how are you going to make your products and services partially autonomous? Can an LLM see everything that a human can see? Can an LLM act in all the ways that a human could act? And can humans supervise and stay in the loop of this activity? Because again, these are fallible systems that aren't yet perfect. And what does a diff look like in Photoshop or something like that, And also a lot of the traditional software right now, it has all these switches and all this kind of stuff. It's all designed for human. All of this has to change and become accessible to LLMs. So one thing I want to stress with a lot of these LLM apps that I'm not sure it gets as much attention as it should is we're now kind of cooperating with AIs. And usually they are doing the generation and we as humans are doing the verification. It is in our interest to make this loop go as fast as possible so we're getting a lot of work done. There are two major ways that I think this can be done. Number one, you can speed up verification a lot. And I think GUIs, for example, are extremely important to this because a GUI utilizes your computer vision GPU in all of our head. Reading text is effortful and it's not fun, but looking at stuff is fun and it's just kind of like a highway to your brain. So I think GUIs are very useful for auditing systems and visual representations in general. And number two, I would say, is we have to keep the AI on the leash. I think a lot of people are getting way overexcited with AI agents, and it's not useful to me to get a diff of 1,000 lines of code to my repo. Like, I'm still the bottleneck, right? Even though the 1,000 lines come out instantly, I have to make sure that this thing is not introducing bugs. It's just like, and that it's doing the correct thing, right? And that there's no security issues and so on. So I think that, yeah, basically, we have to sort of like, it's in our interest to make the flow of these two go very, very fast, and we have to somehow keep the AI on the leash because it gets way too overreactive. It's kind of like this. This is how I feel when I do AI-assisted coding. If I'm just vibe coding, everything is nice and great, but if I'm actually trying to get work done, it's not so great to have an overreactive agent doing all this kind of stuff. So this slide is not very good, I'm sorry, but I guess I'm trying to develop, like many of you, some ways of utilizing these agents in my coding workflow and to do AI-assisted coding. And in my own work, I'm always scared to get way too big diffs. I always go in small incremental chunks. I want to make sure that everything is good. I want to spin this loop very, very fast. And I sort of work on small chunks of single concrete thing. And so I think many of you probably are developing similar ways of working with LLMs. I also saw a number of blog posts that try to develop these best practices for working with LLMs. And here's one that I read recently and I thought was quite good. And it kind of discussed some techniques, and some of them have to do with how you keep the AI on the leash. And so as an example, if you are prompting, if your prompt is vague, then the AI might not do exactly what you wanted. And in that case, verification will fail. You're going to ask for something else. If a verification fails, then you're going to start spinning. So it makes a lot more sense to spend a bit more time to be more concrete in your prompts, which increases the probability of successful verification, and you can move forward. And so I think a lot of us are going to end up finding kind of techniques like this. I think in my own work as well, I'm currently interested in what education looks like in together with kind of like, now that we have AI and LLMs, what does education look like? And I think part of my talk, therefore, focuses on, can we just build for agents? I don't want to do this work. Can agents do this? Thank you. Okay. So roughly speaking, I think there's a new category of consumer and manipulator of digital information. It used to be just humans through GUIs or computers through APIs. And now we have a completely new thing. And agents they're computers, but they are human-like, kind of, right? They're people spirits. There's people spirits on the internet, and they need to interact with our software infrastructure. Like, can we build for them? It's a new thing. So as an example, you can have robots.txt on your domain, and you can instruct or like advise, I suppose, web crawlers on how to behave on your website. In the same way, you can have maybe LLMs.txt file, which is just a simple markdown that's telling LLMs what this domain is about. And this is very readable to an LLM. If it had to instead get the HTML of your web page and try to parse it, this is very error prone and difficult, and it will screw it up, and it's not going to work. So we can just directly speak to the LLM. It's worth it. A huge amount of documentation is currently written for people. So you will see things like lists and bold and pictures, and this is not directly accessible by an LLM. So I see some of the services now are transitioning a lot of their docs to be specifically for LLMs. So Vercel and Stripe, as an example, are early movers here, but there are a few more that I've seen already. And they offer their documentation in Markdown. Markdown is super easy for LLMs to understand. This is great. Maybe one simple example from my experience as well. Maybe some of you know 3 Blue 1 Brown. He makes beautiful animation videos on YouTube.
Put it up here like this.
Yeah, I love this library so that he wrote Manin. And I wanted to make my own. And there's extensive documentations on how to use Manin. And so I didn't want to actually read through it. So I copy-pasted the whole thing to an LLM. And I described what I wanted, and it just worked out of the box. Like, LLM just vibe coded me an animation exactly what I wanted. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So if we can make docs legible to LLMs, it's going to unlock a huge amount of kind of use. And I think this is wonderful and should happen more. The other thing I wanted to point out is that you do unfortunately have to, it's not just about taking your docs and making them appear in Markdown. That's the easy part. We actually have to change the docs. Because anytime your docs say click, this is bad. An LLM will not be able to natively take this action right now. So Vercel, for example, is replacing every occurrence of click with an equivalent curl command that your LLM agent could take on your behalf. And so I think this is very interesting. And then, of course, there's a model context protocol from Anthropic, and this is also another way. It's a protocol of speaking directly to agents as this new consumer and manipulator of digital information. So I'm very bullish on these ideas. The other thing I really like is a number of little tools here and there that are helping ingest data that in like very LLM-friendly formats. So for example, when I go to a GitHub repo, like my NanoGPT repo, I can't feed this to an LLM and ask questions about it because it's, this is a human interface on GitHub. So when you just change the URL from GitHub to git ingest, then this will actually concatenate all the files into a single giant text, and it will create a directory structure, etc. And this is ready to be copy-pasted into your favorite LLM, and you can do stuff. Maybe even more dramatic example of this is DeepWiki, where it's not just the raw content of these files. This is from Devin, but also like they have Devin basically do analysis of the GitHub repo, and Devin basically builds up a whole docs pages just for your repo. And you can imagine that this is even more helpful to copy paste into your LLM. So I love all the little tools that basically where you just change the URL and it makes something accessible to an LLM. So this is all well and great, and I think there should be a lot more of it. One more note I wanted to make is that it is absolutely possible that in the future, LLMs will be able to, this is not even future, this is today, they'll be able to go around and they'll be able to click stuff and so on. But I still think it's very worth basically meeting LLMs halfway, and making it easier for them to access all this information. Because this is still fairly expensive, I would say, to use and a lot more difficult. And so I do think that lots of software, there will be a long tail where it won't adapt because these are not like live player sort of repositories or digital infrastructure, and we will need these tools. But I think for everyone else, I think it's very worth kind of like meeting in some middle point. So I'm bullish on both, if that makes sense. So in summary, what an amazing time to get into the industry. We need to rewrite a ton of code. A ton of code will be written by professionals.
Nice. I think that was a pretty good talk overall. Yo, Lukesh, you won the hackathon? Awesome, man. Can we see your entry? Let me fix up my computer here. I wanted to check out this SimilarCloud as well as some other tools. Let me see what people are saying in general. Real VNC. Bro, Brutal Strike posted this video of them like talking to Cursor on their Android phone, but their phone is also running Linux, which is running Cursor. So they like through Termux are able to talk to Cursor, but the Cursor itself, look, is running in Real VNC. Actually, that might not be on their computer. Is it? I don't know, I'm actually unsure. Actually, I'm sure we'll find out. What I'm building right now? I've just been playing around with some side projects. I'm not really building anything serious. Thoughts on Meta paying 100 million for talent? Yeah, that's really funny because I saw Bindu's. Do you see Bindu's tweet? I think she makes a good point. It's like before they were like, we're gonna be replacing all software engineers with AI, but now they're paying 100 million for AI software engineers or something. I don't know. Well, I was gonna make a video about that stuff because I don't know. Like, they must be good talent. Meta has been like really aggressive with their spending recently. I think it can work out, man. Like really, like someone like Andre or someone like Ilya, they're definitely worth a lot. But I don't know the exact talent that they're hiring. Okay, so it's a public computer? Oh my god, I'm in control. Well, I don't need control. Interesting. Okay, so this is SimilarCloud. Supposedly we have access to a computer and like executing code. all this stuff. It's free on their shared VM, where you can pay like $50 a month, I think, for your own dedicated VM, and I think it's also open source. I wanted to just like try out some random use cases from my like agent use case list. Let's see. I don't really know. I feel like the vertical agents are gonna outcompete the general agents in most categories, right? I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. I still haven't found like a good vertical. Let's just see, like, hold on. Scrape all the comments. Hold on, we go. Scrape all the comments on the videos by creator TechFriend and put them in a spreadsheet. All right. Let's see how this goes. I'll see you, Yasin. Any ideas? No. I mean, if I had a good idea, I'd work on it myself, but I'm still in the like experimental stage mostly. Yeah. Let's have a look at GitHub trending. Zapier alternative. Prompt optimizer. Oh, another thing I started using yesterday was Browser MCP. This is really cool. Like it comes with a Chrome extension, and it's an MCP tool that uses your own Chrome session. So it has like all your authentication and stuff, which is pretty nice. So I might try that with like. I also got the 4 billion parameter Jan model, which is supposedly really good at tool calling. So we could try that with like Klein. And okay, so it's going on TikTok. This is cool because you know Manus is actually blocked from TikTok. So the fact that this agent can actually use TikTok is pretty cool. Supposedly we only have 9 minutes left though. Oh, you use Browser MCP too, I see through? Sick. Yeah. I don't know if it's the same one that existed a while ago, but I remember trying one of those ones that needed a Chrome extension and it just didn't work for me. But this time I tried the Browser MCP, it was super easy. Like you just install the extension and it's just like an NPX thing in the config. Oh shit, there I am, along with 2 fake accounts. TechFriend is TechFriend. You see, one of them is like TechFriend with 2 N's, and then the other one is TechFriend 2, and then it's TeachFriend, and then it's TechFern. Let's see if you can get my comments. I kind of also, I mean, I guess we could, let me try set up Klein. Oh shit, it went on my live. What the fuck? I kind of want to try this new Jan model with. I got llama file with Jan. Does this set up the server? Better web GUI. Alright, let's do server v2. We also want to put the config Jan for Jan Nano 4B. Here, Jan Nano. What do we need? Temperature 0.7. How do we do that? What is Jan? So, yes, actually good question. Jan is, oh, Jay Craig, what's up? Thanks for the gift. Lakshman Ganesha Raja, no way. Is that on LinkedIn? or X? Damn, never seen Lakshman in the chat. Jan, so they released this model like really recently, 3 days ago, I think. And it's a 4 billion parameter model, so you can run it locally. And it where do they say? They say it outperforms like all these models in a particular benchmark of tool calling, which is crazy because it's comparing it to Gemini 2.5, Claude Sonnet, 03, 01 for tool calling. Like, it's not a smart model for writing code or answering questions or reasoning, but for like knowing when to call tools, apparently, supposedly MCP based benchmark. So we're gonna try it with like, I don't know, Klein or Roux to see how it does with that. All right, temp 0.7. We want to make sure we're on their like recommended sampling settings. How do you go top P? Top P. I don't know how to do top P. What are the other settings we have? Top K, min P. Alright, we'll just leave it with temp. Alright, so this is me running the inference server with llama file, which should be pretty fast. Yeah, tool calling code, supposedly. Haven't tried it. We're gonna try this same prompt. Okay, looks like this is failing. Yeah, see, a lot of these agents just fail on being able to log in and stuff. So that's where this browser use MCP could come in handy. I'm gonna give it the exact same prompt and just see where it goes. Where is my prompt? I guess it doesn't really make a plan. Or whatever, I'll write a new prompt. Alright, I quit the agent. It's watching my live, whatever. Okay, we running llama file? I guess not yet. Is my shit lagging? Doesn't look like it. So we're gonna move this as well. Hey, unknown, I'm doing well. How are you? So like if I make a decision model of calling which LLM for which purpose, it can do that. Yes, I suppose, theoretically. Oh, the server is running here. Oh, wow. This is nice. Oh, we can set the top P here. What did they say top P should be? A 0.8. I don't know if this will affect the inference server. Okay. Is this like V1 models? Does that work? Okay. Alright, let's try get Klein to run with this. Or Rue. Looks like I got Rue here. How do we get a model picker here? Oh. Okay. Let's make a new profile. Llama file. Open router. OpenAI compatible. Base URL that. Not. Whatever. We just don't need that. Oh, Jan Nano. Okay, sweet. It picked it up. It supports images. What? I did not expect that. Can we set like top P and stuff here? Doesn't look like it. Save. Done. Let's also add. Let's remove all these MCPs and add the browser MCP. Browser MCP. Like this. Okay, that should add it, right? Yes. Okay, we've got browser MCP, and then we need to let's just go to my page just to make it easier. And then we connect it here. Connect. And now it should work. So I'm gonna say use the browser. Oh, we actually what mode should we use? None of these modes. Can we add a new mode? New mode. We're gonna call this browser. We're not gonna give it any instructions. Oh, browse internet. Okay. All right. Use the browser MCP to go through each video on TechFriend TikTok page and scroll to see each comment and save every comment to a spreadsheet. Can I make a spreadsheet here? I'm not really like in a file. I might have to open a new directory. Hold on. Who's RuCode? RuCode is like a fork of Klein, but it has like, you know, some features that Klein didn't have. I don't know what the feature set is now. They change so often. All right. All right, I made a blank data.csv. Let's go back into Ru. Data.csv. Okay. We can also bring this here. I hope this is the right one that we connected to. Just gonna make sure we're connected to that one. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. I hope it uses this tab. Oh, it's not able to hit the endpoint. Message must have string content. Okay, it could be because we didn't set the system prompt. So How do I manage the system prompts? Edit. Browse internet. Wait. Oh, it already has the system prompt. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why it's getting this. Okay, just for simplicity's sake, let's do open router with Qwen. No, let's do open router with whatever's free. Wait, do we have Grok API key here? Because Grok will be fast. Ah, fuck it. I'm just gonna use open router with Actually, I do want to use Grok. Let's see if I can get an API key without leaking my key. Why not CSV instead of spreadsheet? Yeah, it is like it's the same thing. CSV spreadsheet. I made a CSV file. That's kind of what I meant. What's the length of the response on this? I always struggle with halfway cutoff. With which one? With the Jan model? Or hope you guys didn't see that whole key. I don't think you did. Model, let's see what they have. They don't have great models. I want to try with Qwen 32B. This isn't the smartest model, but just see how we go. Let's see if this works. Okay, no, this one didn't work. 400 max tokens must be equal to that. What the fuck? Is that a rule thing? Where do we set max tokens? I'm gonna try Climb. Let's try Climb. Oh, we have to set the MCPs up again. That's alright, I think we can do that kind of fast. Okay. Come on. Come on, browser MCP. Says it's updated, I don't see it though. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see if I can use my local model here. I'm gonna say LM Studio. Wait, if I say OpenAI, will it ask me for a China API? If I say OpenAI, will it ask me for base URL? No. Alright, we're gonna say LM Studio, and I'm gonna give it. I guess we don't need V1. Jan. Okay, it definitely picked up Jan. Let's see if this works. Nope. Do we have logs? Error 400 must have string content. Is that the same one? Post V1 chat completion. What the fuck is this? Yes, with Qwen. Qwen, I'll check for you. It depends which one. I guess if you're running Qwen 332 on shoots, the output 41,000. Yeah, not that much. It's not correctly formatted. Specifically, the content field is missing. different format. Try OpenAI compatible. I don't know if this will work. Oops. Let's provide a model parameter. Now we're just should I try LM Studio? Alright, I'm gonna try LM Studio. I haven't updated LM Studio in a long time. My computer fans are going off. Does this have my models? My models are here. There's a loading one. I think it needs them to be in folders, which is annoying. Like 2 folders. There we go. Unsupported architecture. What? Oh. No, I was able to interface with this. Wait, does this not work at all? I was able to interface with it on Llama file. Model architecture is unknown. Damn. Okay. Well, let's just try OpenRouter. With Qwen, I guess. Would it be fast? The Grok is pretty fast. Grok Mini. Grok 3 Mini. Let's try Grok Mini. I'll give it a new task. Alright, let's see. Come on. Come on. What? Oh, right. I didn't switch. Wait, what? I swear I switched. I think it's because I switched back to plan mode. No, I want act mode. Okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. No, I was using LM Studio. I mean, Llama file before. Oh, I gotta auto approve all these MCPs. That's kind of one annoying thing about clients. Like the first time it does an MCP, even if you have auto approve everything on it, still asks you to like approve it. Alright, it's read the page. Whoa, was it saving it? No, still nothing saved. Okay, here we go. Another thing to approve. Auto approve. Yo, Bodhi, what's up? How did it go with the 3JS game? Haven't checked on GitHub yet. Yeah, man. I haven't touched it since that last stream, but I did put like edited video of the stream on YouTube. So if you want to like get updated on what happened last stream, check out my YouTube. It'll have the like edited video. Okay, one more thing to approve, it seems. Browser snapshot, okay. Bro, why does this keep moving? Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's all the tools I need to auto approve. Now everything should just work automatically. I hope. Buffy, what's up? I'm trying to use this browser MCP to automate like some comment extraction from TikTok. Okay, no, the key press is another one. And yeah, so far, first I'm using Grok 3 Mini. I don't think it's very good. So I might try a different model. Oh, actually, I wonder if the Jan model is on OpenRouter. It's actually a good thing, let's check. Jan 4B. No, it's not. Because yeah, this is supposed to click on the things one by one. It's definitely not doing that. And we've already sent 400,000 tokens. Oh, wait, here we go. You can see the cursor. This is the cursor here. It almost clicked one of the things. Unfortunately, it stopped. I think I'm going to cancel this and try again with a different model. And probably a better prompt as well. So we're saying use the browser MCP to go through each video on the TikTok page. Scroll to see each component. Right, okay, I guess. You must first click a video, then scroll to see each comment, save every comment to a spreadsheet, and then repeat for all videos on the page. Then go back. Hey, thanks for following, Buffy. Click the next video and repeat for all videos on the page. Okay. Yeah, the cursor's new $20 plan seems pretty good, but it's also a bit confusing. I've heard a lot of people are confused on like how it actually works. You've had 5 accounts pro sub. Wow, that's crazy. Can't you just pay for more credits on the same account? Or is it not worth it? Alright, let's try. Is there a way to see which OpenRouter model is like the fastest? Rankings. No. Or like, there's no way to see the speed. How fast is Qwen? Oh, there's a DeepSeek Qwen 8B. I wish I could run that Jan thing locally. Should we try this? How fast is this? Oh, 135. Okay, this 8B. Let's try this 8B model. Qwen 3 8B. Free. This one. Alright, let's try this one. It's cheaper to get a new account and buy $20. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Cursor versus RuCode. I think Cursor you get more value in terms of credits, but RuCode might have some like really cool features and different like profiles and stuff. Actually, Cursor has some cool features too, the background agents. Ru is open source, which is nice. Okay, this failed at the tool call. This 8B model, not very good. I'm gonna give it like a few more minutes. Klein has a question. To accomplish this task, I need to identify the video elements. Could you provide the XPath? Oh, it's not able to find the XPath for the video. That's interesting. Alright, I'm gonna try a smarter model to see if that was like a model issue or... Let's try the full DeepSeek 0528. There's also a free version of that. Yeah. Let's see if that can handle it. That could be the issue. Yo, Revanth, welcome back. Bruce, thanks for the like. sad I wasn't able to get Jan working through this. Actually, I could, while I'm doing it, could I search like llama file Cline tutorial? Oh, you can do it through Light LLM. Interesting. Was that an option here? There is a Light LLM option. I could try that. Ariwa, thanks for joining. I might try Light LLM. If I can move the... Bro, this dude's seeing things for so long. Okay. 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 Light. Oh wait, no. Llama file. Will this work? Alright, let's cancel this. Let's try llama file. Please, please, please. Damn it. 404 this time. Not session v1. Okay. This is the same error we were getting, string content. Don't know why. Let's see if Warp can debug this. Can you debug trying to hit the server? OpenAI compatible server. Oh, I hit my limit on Warp. Damn it. Because look, I'm definitely able to do inference if I don't run it with server mode. Is there a video of someone using this model with Cline or Root? Yeah, that's what I want to try find. I don't think it's the model's problem, because look, I'm able to talk to the model fine with llama file here. But what I'm not able to do is hit the llama file server. So yeah, let's search YouTube. Unfortunately, llama file isn't very popular. Oh. Do they have a llama file here? I don't think so. But also check their Discord. Like both Mozilla Discord. Search for like Klein or Rue. Nope. And then let's check Rue Discord. How do I search Rue Discord? Search for Llama file. Nope. What about Klein Discord? Llama file. Oh, here we go. This guy got a 500 error. Okay, he's getting this to work. Let me try this curl. So I want to see like we can. JSON missing model string. Oh. That's looking like it's working. It's really slow though. That's Perplexity. Yo, what's built? I'm trying to interface. There we go. I'm running like a local 4 billion parameter model. As you can see, localhost 8080. And we're able to hit it with the curl command. But for some reason, not able to hit it with the... Wait, actually, we might be able to run it with like debug params. Debug, is that a thing? Or like verbose. Verbose. There we go, verbose. This might help. I'm trying to hit it with Klein, but I can't. Like, I'm having issues. Have I watched the podcast of Wacom with Alexander Wang? I haven't. Is it good? We just watched the Andrej Karpathy talk on Wacom in a startup school. Please explain LM Studio versus Llama file. LM Studio is a closed source, really nice GUI for running models locally. Llama file is an open source, single portable file for running local models on any platform, Windows, Linux, Mac. I mean, you can do that with LM Studio as well, but it's not the same file. You'll have to download like a separate executable for Windows, a separate one for Mac. Is there a reason why I want to use Llama file for this? Well, LM Studio wouldn't even load the model. It said the architecture was incompatible. So I guess my other option is Ollama. Yeah, Ollama is like a CLI tool. In my experience, I haven't really liked Ollama for a few different reasons, which I think they fixed, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can technically do this with LM Studio and Llama file too. And I've had it working before. I've had Aider interface with Llama file, but I don't think I've ever tried Klein. I'm gonna try again, retry. Let's see if we get the error logs here. No. We don't even get the call. Next time string content. Maybe I gotta do completions. Is that a thing? Oh, that's 404. What was it? Yeah, what was the endpoint we hit here? It was completions. Oh no, /chat/completions. /chat/completions. That's 404 as well. So that's /chat. Also 404. V1 chat completions, V1 chat complete. Okay, no, it's just V1 because it adds chat completions itself. Okay, so the base URL is definitely right. Because I wasn't sending a string? I think it was. Alright, let's try search with this error. LM Studio, I tend to just use the MLX version. Yeah, No, MLX is definitely really good for Mac. I'm just so used to, actually, should we? Okay. If we can't get a result for this, maybe we can find, I don't know if they'll have an MLX version for Jan. Hey, Jeffrey is a bot. Damn. I lost Perplexity. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find this. Bots are people's spirits too. Alright, we're looking at a lot of sources here. Shout out to Revant for the Perplexity Pro. Though, yeah, I'm not very hopeful that we'll be able to fix it. The object in your request doesn't have a content field. The content field must be null. Client is a VS Code extension. Client expects to communicate with OpenAI compatible APIs. Llama file provides this here. When is incorrect. Actually, I have a couple other ideas. What about instead of server, we do -- host? This could actually be a thing. This could be the issue, actually. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh. Okay, this is better. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's a different error. 500 error must be string but is array. Oh, here we go. Chat completions, remote address, log server, model Jan Nano, message. Oh, it's given an array as a message. Because it's messages. At least this is a new error. Let's see if anyone has said anything about that. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is exactly what I'm doing, Llama file. Has anyone replied to him? Nope. Okay, this is progress. Maybe now with Roo. Damn, same error. Okay, that's progress. Ish. Damn it. If this is Jan Nano, I can confirm there is indeed an MLX version. Oh shit, okay. Let's download that. Thanks, I see through. This is Gen Nano. Oh wow, yeah. Look, they even have the GGUF. Wait, where's the MLX? I don't see an MLX. Yo, Nos, what's up? What's the best general agent I can run locally? That's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to run, I'm trying to do it with MCP tools and like client. Make sure you have MLX turned on in settings. Settings, hey. Maybe I'm not on the latest. Let's check for updates as well. Where's settings? There is no settings. I am on the latest version. Go to settings. Command. Where's settings, bro? Search, chat, playground, server, models. File, edit, view, window, help, services settings? Have I tried RoboDev? I haven't. No, that's not it. I had a Google Sheet with the best ones. That was old. Yo, John Power, what's up? What's 20 million free tokens? Manus? Yeah, Manus has 300 free credits. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. That looks like an old version of the app. No, it probably is, dude. Alright, let's download the new one. Copy download link. What the fuck? That's really interesting. Oh yeah, 3.16. Yeah, I was running 2.3 or something. Okay, we'll try this. I might make a coffee. How do I? Hold on, is my iPhone charged? It is very low battery. You know what, actually? No, it's probably... I'm gonna be making a coffee. All open source local menaces suck. Are you on Mac? Have you tried Vercept? What else have I tried on local? Like, what's your use case, first of all? Like, what are you trying to do with the general agent? Because I think, like, 90% of the time, a vertical agent is actually better than a general agent. Okay, we got the new LM Studio. Windows? There was this thing like PyWin Assistant. Is that still a thing? Oh my god, I'm the first result. I haven't updated it in 4 months, but this was like a virtual agent. It was pretty old.
Source project by a real AI. Speak to it with your voice and it uses your Windows computer to do what you tell it to do. It uses visualization of thought, which Microsoft did a paper on recently. I tested it out on stream.
That one was pretty good. And then there was also like GPT Computer Assistant. That one was okay too. Have you tried those? they're okay. Like, none of them are great, but yeah. Alright, we're trying the new LM Studio to download Jan. You know what, actually? This might be able to run the Jan I already have. Potentially. Potentially. Oh, this looks way nicer. Hold on. Let me see if I can run my existing Jan. Okay. Oh, looks like I think I can run this. How do we get a server like this? Jan. Sweet. Okay, good. I don't have to download Jan again. Qwen 3 trained for tool use. Wow, this is nice. And then we're gonna have supported log files. Awesome. Do I use Windows or Mac OS? At home I used Windows, but yeah, I've been using Mac OS for like the whole time this year, because yeah, I've been traveling. So yeah, this is currently running on my MacBook. Basic research. If you just need basic research, why don't you use like the deep research tools, like Perplexity's deep research, or DeepSeek's deep research, or Gemini deep research. There's so many, right? Are they not good enough? I think they would be much better. Okay, let me see. Let's see if we can use Llama file on Klein. I mean LM Studio, sorry. Yep. Retry. Ooh. No? Same error? Check the LM Studio developer logs. Okay, we have some. Maybe we're not hosting the server. The model is ready. How do I host a server? This looks different than what I'm used to. The local server is not running. Start the server to be able to access. How? How to start the server? This looks different to what I'm used to. Top left corner. This one? This one. Oh, okay. I mean, fuck, that label is terrible. Status stopped, status running. It should be like... Okay, anyway, thank you. Thank you, Nas. Appreciate you. Alright, let's see if this works. Nope. Oh my, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, okay, we definitely hit the server this time. What's the issue though? Prompt with Ginger template, expected closing statement, open square bracket. Bro, why did none of these endpoints work? Setting has a cores if needed. Hey, Mike Longstockings. What's up? Bro, this sucks. Let me see if I can hit it with warp. Oh, I'm still running the llama file last. That's not good. Damn. Must be an error with the model or something. Should I try download the MLX version? I feel like the LM Studio error. Let me search the llama file Discord. Wait, I'm in the LM Studio Discord. Try replacing the ginger template in my models. Okay, it's a template thing. How do I? Settings, assembly. Yo, SEO AI agency, what's up? I'm trying to run this local model, which is supposedly like one of the best models that it's only for tool calling, and it's only 4 billion parameters, but just like even getting it to talk to talk to Klein has been a bit of a pain. Okay, here. How do I change the this template? You know what? I'm just gonna try download the MLX version. It's probably gonna be faster as well. Jan Nano MLX. Alright, I'm downloading this. This could take 8 minutes. So I am gonna make that coffee that I wanted to make. Yeah, you're right, I see through. Yeah, so oh no, 18 minutes? Damn. I have to check out of this hotel in 2 hours. Hopefully it speeds up. We gonna make a coffee. Did I miss any messages? Nope. Okay. Okay. Go to runtime and make sure that it's turned on. Where's runtime? runtime. Oh, I gotta download MLX fix. Any good alternative for Augment? Yeah, Claude Code. What do I think about Claude Code? Yeah, I think it's one of the best. Obviously you got Cursor, you got Cline, you got Roo, you got Windsurf. Mike, I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch as well. Set to use MLX model. Sweet. Is that it, or do I have to change something else? That looks all good. Hardware, Apple M1, Apple Silicon, 16 gig RAM, 10 gig VRAM, guardrails. Okay, I guess it's probably good to be on strict while I'm streaming. Almost halfway there. Yeah, I have all the chats consolidated. I can show you. Check this out. It's pretty cool. This is what do you call this? Social Stream. It's open source. I can't use the trial for Augment. It keeps restricting. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say they've been banned from the Augment trial. I don't know if that's because they apparently they try to ban people who abuse it, but I don't know. I guess maybe some people got wrongfully accused. I'm not sure. Must use tools. I don't know if there's must use tools generally. A pretty general tool is like a web research tool. I use Perplexity, but I mean there's a lot of these deep research tools. Like even ChatGPT now has web search, which is pretty good. What am I building? I'm not technically building anything. I'm downloading this model, Jan Nano, which is supposedly outperforming all the state-of-the-art models in tool calling. And it's only like 4 billion parameters, so I can run it locally. And I'm gonna try set it up with my browser MCP to see if it can control my browser and scrape my TikTok comments for me. That's the idea. Is ChatGPT still good? Yeah, definitely, man. Their O3 model is one of the best models in. Yeah, definitely one of the best models that are out there for sure. What do I think about Base 44? Yeah, I don't understand it fully, but my understanding is they made it super easy for vibe coders. They set up database for you and stuff. So yeah, you can build a full stack app really easily. I haven't even tried it. I didn't even know, because dude, this year there's been 100 of these startups, these vibe coding platforms that you just type a prompt and it gives you a website. So yeah. All right, only 4 minutes left. That's good. What I am curious about is Meta's $100 million talent hire. Does anyone know anything about that? I don't really know much about that, so I'm gonna ask Perplexity about it. Actually, I'll do it in this window. All right, let's see. Is it the Scale AI? Meta's been offering signing bonuses of up to $100 million to attract top AI talent from competitors, particularly OpenAI. These extraordinary compensation packages reportedly include $100 million signing bonuses and even higher annual salaries. Dude, that's crazy. Imagine getting $100 million. That's like more than Ronaldo. Wait, I don't know. Wait. How much was Ronaldo bought for? 80 million pounds. It's almost more than Ronaldo. Wait, oh no, and then 99 million in 2018 from Juventus. But how much did Al Hilal buy him for in Saudi? 200 million per year. That's pretty crazy. $800 million. Dude, that's crazy. Is that real? What's more interesting is OpenAI staff who were so well situated they couldn't turn down that 100 mil. Yeah. I mean, it's like they spent so much time building this truly cutting edge thing that if they were to go to Meta, it's like taking 4 or 5 steps back, you know what I mean? And like they're already getting paid so well at OpenAI that it's like the money is like less of an important factor more than the actual legacy or like building what's cool kind of thing. And also obviously all the relationships and stuff. And also it's gonna be like a bad image if they like leave for money, which is something I've done before. It's not 100 million cash, it's based off stock options. Oh, okay. How can I get my own AI agent to build websites locally? Yeah, use a tool like Klein or Rue. They're like local tools, but obviously there's Cursor and stuff. If you're okay with using an API as the model, which I suggest you do because local models really suck compared to the models you can do with APIs. I really like Augment Code. But yeah, just get VS Code and try one of these extensions. Augment Code has a free tier and it's using Claude Sonnet 4. That's my favorite one. Augmentcode.com. A lot of people say really good things about Claude Code. There's a lot of these tools. Oh, we're almost done. 26 seconds left. You're welcome, Unknown. Alright, here we go. Gen Nano. This should work. Where do I make most of my money? Dude, this past few months has been through brand deals, but it's been like very little money compared to what I was making when I was an employed software engineer. Yeah. But yeah, it's just been like, I don't know if you guys have seen, occasionally I post videos that say like sponsored. Those paid me enough to be able to live. Okay, come on, finalizing download. It's always that last percent that takes the longest. Quickly check my Discord, see if anything's popping off. Oh, a bunch of chat. Got a release CLI. Oh, cool. Bro made a ping pong game. Well, actually, that's just a pong game. Ping pong is table tennis. Bro, this has been shared like 4 times. $1 billion single person companies. Let it be someone from this community, please. How do I get my sponsors? I like never done cold outreach. They always reach out to me. I just have my like email in my bio on like TikTok and stuff. Dude, why is this finalizing taking so long? Finalize faster. So read more about this acquisition. They made a list of 50 to 100 high priority AI researchers. So it's not like software engineers, it's more AI researchers. Zuckerberg is seeking to assemble the Avengers to focus on superintelligence. As part of the strategy, Meta invested $14 billion in Scale AI. Oh, so Alexander Wang's gonna lead Meta's superintelligence team. Wang became the world's youngest self-made billionaire at 24. Wow. That's sick. Amazing. I wish I did what Alexander Wang did. Bro, why is this taking so long? I'm so curious to hit this retry button, but I don't want it to retry the whole download. Come on. This might be an L. Why is Alexander Wang such a cool name? Yeah, I don't know. Just is. Cool name, especially being the youngest self-made billionaire. Oh yeah, I gotta bump this. Can I forward this? Replay, create Fred. I can't. Oh, we're almost at 6 votes. Neither. The goal is health. Look at Brian Johnson's X. Damn, this guy posts a lot. Here. We're in a new era of human being, of being human. The old ways of being a model for professional success is over. We're in the era of don't die. Make health your top priority. And then once we like live healthy past the singularity, we'll just live forever healthfully and in abundance, and hopefully without war and stuff. Hopefully. And then money will be irrelevant, as will hoes. Money and hoes. Okay, I'm getting impatient. I'm gonna click this retry button. Oh sweet, that fucking worked. I'm so glad that worked. Okay. All right, let's try run this now. MLX. I should be in the gym. You're right. You're right, Mike. You're right. But you know, this is fun. You can consider this like towards my health potentially. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, for everyone that's new, what we were doing before I had to download a model and re-download Klein and all this shit, and LM Studio, sorry, is we're trying to get this. We just downloaded a 4 billion parameter model that has been fine-tuned for tool calling, so like using MCP tools, and supposedly is outperforming all the state-of-the-art models at tool calling. Now this is like a kind of weird claim, because it's like you kind of still need to be good at reasoning to be able to know when to use the tools, in my mind. But anyway, we're gonna give it this task to use the browser MCP to control my browser and try to download the comments for each of my videos. So we're using Klein here, and Jan Nano through LM Studio. This is all the AI. Actually, everything here is running locally. There's no APIs I'm going to be using here. Let's see. Please work, please work, please work. No, it failed. Oh, come on, bro. Same error? Gina template again? Did we definitely load the right model? Yep. Yep, it's definitely the right one. It's a real shame, dude. Alright, maybe we can find the the Gina template here. Gina prompt. Maybe here. Gina template. Use the Qwen 3. Getting Jinja errors? Okay, look. Use the Qwen 3 template. Where's the Qwen 3 template? This should use the Qwen 3 template. I don't want to know. How do you get the Qwen 3 Jinja template? LM Studio Qwen 3 Jinja template. Alright, let's try this. Okay. Does that mean I have to reload the model? Potentially, let's do that. Whoa, we got 2 models. Okay, here we go. Yes, exactly, J. Craig. Okay, this could work. Let's try it one more time. Retry. No, failed again. Pingu suggests sending a prompt in LM Studio. I think that works. Like, we've tried that before. That all worked fine. Where's LM Studio? Oh, it does thinking? Yeah, see, that works fine. For some reason, when you try inference it from... I guess another thing we can do is How come this doesn't say error anymore? Another thing we can do is another thing we can do is turn off the template and just run it in manual mode. I'm gonna give it one more retry. I just like reset a bunch of things that sometimes fixes it. No. I just try one more time in a new thread. No. Okay. Now we're gonna try turn off the templating completely. Delete or manual. Oh, here we go. Wait, hold on. Oh, there's no Qwen3. Just go empty prompt template. This is like generally not good practice, but you know, when we're desperate, what else can we try? So yeah, try empty template. Okay, retry. Nope. I wonder if it's gonna give the same error. Oh, it's a different error. Wait. What's the error being? The number of tokens to keep from the initial prompt is greater than the context length. Oh, okay, so now we have a context length issue. How the fuck do we set that? Bro, where's the context length? Basic. Oh, here. Wait, as if. Wait, it says it supports 40,000. Let's go to 20,000. Is that gonna fuck up my RAM? Potentially. Can I make an AI video of you real quick? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Okay, we've upped the context. Will that work? Oh, it's doing something. Oh, it's doing something. I think it's doing something this time. Come on, come on. Is my shit lagging? I just tried the Qwen3 template. It didn't work with Jan. Okay, this time it seems like it could be working. It is hella slow though. I guess, yeah. Generally, the more context you give a model, the slower it's gonna go. So that sucks. This is super slow. And I'm potentially gonna lag. Actually, it seems fine. Doesn't seem like we're lagging. Does seem pretty slow. I'm gonna boost my volume, guys, with a warning if you guys are on headphones. That's it. I'm not going to go any higher. Okay, my computer fan is turn it up. It's definitely. Oh shit! There we go. Great, we finally got it working. But yeah, at this context size, it's definitely a lot slower. I mean, this is still pretty fast. What is this, like 8 tokens per second at least? I guess it did a lot of thinking, but for some reason we don't get the thinking tokens in. Or are these the thing? Actually, these could be the thinking tokens. My X kick on link is wrong. Oh, thanks, Mike. Let me fix that. Actually, I don't even know if I'm logged in on Kick. Oh shit, the audio. Let me turn on voice isolation, could be better. So you guys can hear my mic. Okay. How do I change my info channel settings? Bro, I didn't even know. Oh, maybe it's stream info. No. Wait, is it even studio channel? Bro, I don't even know how to change it. Bro, I don't even know how to change it. How do you even see it here? Oh, here. Oh, here we go. Wait, no. That's my channel. Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's my channel. Oh, here we go. Well, let's check back on client. Oh, cool. It took a screenshot. Client is using the browser. Oh no, and then the API. What failed this time? URL field must be a base 64 encoded image. No, don't use browser. No, turn because we're using browser. No, retry. Damn, we're gonna have to retry again. Why doesn't it keep track of how many tokens that was? Supposedly that was 0 tokens. Yeah, we're gonna try again. Appreciate that, Mike. Here we go. There we go. Facebook, Discord, TikTok. Okay. Does the Discord link work? Oh, Discord. Yes, that's good. Okay. Dude, why is it still using the browser? No, use the fucking MCP. Oh God. Okay, this is. Oh, we can actually auto approve all of these from here. Auto approve, auto approve, auto approve, auto approve, auto approve. Oh, it's restarting the server. This time it was a lot faster to start up, I think. I think there's a way that we can tell it to not use the browser tool somehow. Here. Nope. Browser settings. Disable browser tool. Yeah, sick. Okay. There we go. All right, let's try that one more time. Let me just double check we have the browser MCP running. Yep, okay. All right. Hopefully this time it'll work. Tio, you made fan art? Where can we see it? How do we make money? Will you work with me and make it happen? I've already shown my value pointing out this X situation. Yeah, man, I'm down if we have a good idea that like interests me. what are your skill sets? Like, I have a collab page in the Discord. I feel like this is where we could organize something, but yeah, I don't know. What is this holy squad? What is that? One more vote. Awesome, bro. Thanks, Mike. Oh, Lost the Pest. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's not too explicit. What did I say? I didn't mean to get this up in the host channel or directly, so yeah, like it's always the bird. Oh my god, my computer is definitely lagging now, I think. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm probably lagging. Um, yeah, I can feel my computer overheating just to run this model. Oh, you're no code king? Sick. Welcome, dude. So yeah, it seems like the M1 with MLX isn't really enough to run this model at a usable speed. Which is a shame because this is like a 4 billion parameter model. Like, it's not even that big. Oh, you sent it on Discord? We watch it and not break my computer. Essentially. Oh my god, this is scary, bro. What is this? Oh my god. That is that is scary. That's what I think that is. This is a scary abomination. Damn, this is really eating up my resources. Yeah, I'm gonna let it cook. We have some time, but yeah, we don't have too much time. I think in like 15 minutes I'll probably end stream. And the conclusion is that this model doesn't seem very usable for me. Even with MLX, like once you like fill up the context window, it really slows down, unfortunately. What extensions am I using to connect to LM Studio? This is Cline at the moment, CLINE. But yeah, it's just like, taking so long to stream the output. I mean, it did it a lot faster the second time. I don't know why this third time it's so much slower. And what I also don't know is why it's taking so long to respond. Like this, yeah, we've added more context. Not that one. You know what I kind of want to try? All right, I'm gonna quit this. I'll just reduce the reduce the context um, window a little bit. I think that will speed it up. We're at 20,000, 23,000. Let's do like 10,000. Let's do, yeah, let's do 10. Actually, let's do 7,400 because I don't know. There was like a warning here. Once I got to 9,000, it's like that's when the warning came. So maybe it's 7,000, it'll be okay. Let's see. Nope. It just fails at 7,000. All right, let's try 10,000. And then I guess I can, no, fail at 10,000 too. What about 12,000? Damn, that sucks. I don't understand why. It's like we're not even filling up that much context. My prompt is like not even that big. I guess there's also the client system prompt. You know, we could try Rue code. They also have a pretty good system prompt. Like, okay, it works with 12,000. See how long this takes. I'm gonna start packing up my stuff just to save some time. Yeah, this sucks, bro. Just wait, I have an idea. Let's see. In this, can you turn off individual MCP tools? No. Can you do it in Rue? I'm just gonna check Rue. Might be like a way to just make the system prompt a lot smaller. No. Mm. Yeah, guys, that's unfortunate. All right, look, just as a last-ditch effort, just to see how the browser MCP works, we're going to just use a smart model. I think I still have some client credits. Let's see. Yeah, they're like $3 in client credits. Let's just use client. Um, with like Haiku. I think Haiku could be okay. Climb. Let's go. Oh, this is free? Oh yeah, I forgot. They made Grok free with client. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. Oh, sweet. Oh, fuck yeah, this will be way better. All right. All right, it's analyzing the file. That's fine. It's navigated to my page. It's looked at my page. Oh, this is so fast. This is great. It's analyzed the structure of the page. Um, it's gonna click on something. I know. Click on something, please.
Said this one was
Yes,
advertising
it
400K a
clicked
year,
on the
which is
first video.
ridiculous. And then there was the skill assessment, which is 2 out.
Let me mute that. Okay. Oh yeah, it scrolled down. Oh, but it didn't get the comment. The comments. You need to click on the comment. Hmm. Wait. Seems you need to click on the comment button first. Cancel. Do this. This is really good though. This is pretty fast browser use. Okay. Is it gonna click on the comment button? I don't know if it's able to see the comment button. Let's see. Oh, it did. Look, you can see the cursor there. You can see the cursor at the comment button. Oh, this is great. Actually, my head's in the way. Oh, it was there. It's not there anymore. Oh no. Oh, but now, okay, it already clicked it supposedly. It's gonna page down. Page down didn't work. Um, it almost worked. Let's go for it. Oh, the comments are there. Alright, let's just pretend the page down worked. Page down again. It's not working. I'm manually doing the scroll for it. But yeah, let's just pretend that that worked. Because it did work before. The page down definitely worked before. For some reason it didn't work now. It's like still trying to page down. For some reason it's not working, page down. It's weird that it doesn't have like a scroll tool. It just has a page down tool. That is a bit weird. Oh, and now it's filling the CSV file. Guys, this is great. Look at that. I might make this bigger. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's doing it perfectly. Wow, okay, I'm pretty impressed. The only issue I've seen with this is like the page down versus actual scroll. There's definitely a way to do actual scrolling. I don't know why it does page down instead. Um, and now it's going to click on the next video, which is, okay, from the recommended, which isn't ideal, but it's also, I guess, something. Okay, no, I'm pretty impressed. Like we have free browser use now with Grok and Klein, which is really, really amazing. I don't know how much longer Grok is free with Klein, but it seems really, really fast and capable. Like I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look here with artificial analysis. Pretty sure Grok free is like really fast. It's like 1,000 tokens per second. Grok free. Oh, it's only 100. Huh. That's odd because on OpenRouter, Grok 3 is, oh, maybe it was Grok 3 Mini. Or maybe it's not as fast as it used to be. No, it's 180. Yeah, maybe that's what I was confusing with. I mean, still pretty fast, like 100 tokens per second. Why is it overriding it? Yeah, I mean, this works. I mean, I guess I'm pretty impressed-ish. Did this get the comments? Yeah, I think the scrolling is the only issue here. It's not really scrolling properly. But yeah, I mean, some people were looking for a local Manus. This is it. Klein with MCPs. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. A free Manus here. It just sucks how the page down doesn't work, dude. Right, look. There's no scroll, hey. Yeah, scroll. Gemini Flash would work with it for free too. Really? That would be pretty good as well. Yeah, I mean, it is open source, this browser use thing. Good to add like a scroll instead of a. Might do that next stream. I just have to change hotels here, so I'll be offline for at least an hour or so. I don't have to check out for another hour, yeah. Broken, what's up? Hey, hope you're well. Is this your own LLM or is it even possible? No, this I'm using Grok now. It sucks how it stops at 20 requests. Like, bro, just keep going forever, please. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 999 requests. Um, no, I'm using Grok free here, but I did try to run a local model. It is possible. But on my M1 it was super slow. I think you need a really beefy computer to be able to run anything even like remotely good. Set request to 100. I just set it to like 9,999. Why only 100? I kind of want it to be unlimited. I'm just gonna let this go and hopefully TikTok doesn't ban me. Yeah, I'm gonna continue packing and stuff. I'm gonna take out my microphone, which could lead to some issues. So bear with me if we lose sound. Let me just make sure we respond to all the comments. I'm just trying to find out if you can make or configure your own so that you're not sharing your info. Yeah, you can definitely run local models. But as I said, they're not going to be very smart. And you also need really good computer like hardware to be able to run even like a decently smart one. Are there secure ones that you can share your data with? Yeah. I mean, it's all about trust in the end of the day. Oh, most of them claim they're secure, but you know, um, yeah. But yeah, I'd recommend looking into like LM Studio if you're a beginner, and you want to run local models. You can probably run like a 1 billion parameter model pretty easily. Yeah. Where's the comments? Sorry, yeah, I've been reading them, but I haven't highlighted them. Like I don't have all of them show. I could have all of them show. Does this show all of them? Yeah, okay. I mean, we could just leave chat up like this. Yeah, while I pack, I guess. Comments in the file, what do you mean? Oh, right, right. They just scroll to the right, like right here. It's a CSV file. If you want to look at it nicely, what we can do is open this in Finder. Let's go to a new window here, and then open that up in Preview. There. Uh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna look something like this. Damn, it just overwrote it. Oh, that's a fail. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it just removed a whole bunch of the comments. That's not good. Oh no, and I think we got banned. No, we didn't. Okay. I'm gonna stop this because TikTok could ban me. I hope they don't. Look, the page down works here, interestingly. But yeah, this failed-ish. There, look, oh, we can do that. Let's go back to here. And then do we have all the other comments? Yeah. So it kind of worked, but I guess not perfectly. I do like the idea though. Thanks, Pengu. I might try continue with a different model. Or, yeah, the issue is kind of... It's nice that Grok Free is free, but bro was saying Flash was free. How do you get the free Flash? Through AI Studio? I don't know. Let's see how good 0528 is. Or wait, or Quen 32B. I do want to try Quen 32B. Oh, this is Quen free. Was that root code? No, this is Klein. Klein has Grok for free for 2 weeks. I don't know how long of that is left, but yeah. Grok did a partnership. I mean, Klein did a partnership with XAI to get Quen, sorry, to get Grok for free through Klein. So if you use Klein and you have Klein as your provider, you can use Grok from XAI for free. I'm gonna just gonna make a backup of this, even though there's nothing really important in it. And then we're gonna delete everything here. Actually, video title, commenter, comment date. What else do we need? Video URL. Yeah, video URL would be good too. Commenter, date, video URL. That comment likes. That could be good too. Wait, do we also get like saves? Whatever. All right. Let's see how Quen 32B does. How do you remember so many models? I don't know. It's kind of just been like an obsession for the past year. Oh, Quen 32B also does thinking. I didn't expect that. Hmm. This probably isn't going to be as good as Grok, but whatever. We're just going to let it cook. Will it come onto root code since it's a fork? No, because it's not really like a source code thing that makes Grok free. It's more of like a partnership with the company. And it's like through Klein's backend because you can have Klein as a provider. So yeah, I don't think Grok will come free on root code because it's a fork, but if Grok chooses to do a partnership with root code as well, potentially. Is thinking reasoning? Yeah, pretty much. Bro, why is it? No, this is not good. No. How do I quit this? Cancel. Okay. Quen 32B definitely not good. Let's try we're gonna try 0528 free. I think I already did try this and it wasn't good either. Well, fuck. Alright, we're trying this one. Yeah, man, this DeepSeek like thinks way too much. Like for something like this where we want like tool calls to happen often, this DeepSeek definitely thinks way too much. I think Grok 3 was the best. Um, yeah. We're gonna go back to Grok. I just told it to ensure not to overwrite previously saved data. Yeah, look at that. It just quickly gets to it. There's no like thinking tokens that we can see at least. Oh, the MCP server is not connected? Well, should be. Try again. There we go. Oh, what the fuck? I gotta. Sometimes you gotta like use the extension here. Disconnect, connect. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I didn't click the comment button, right? But it's still able to get it. Yeah, but it's not able to go like page down. Okay. I think we're gonna leave this here. I think there's an obvious issue that the page down isn't working for scrolling. So next stream, if I do continue this next stream, there's a chance I won't, is to go to browser MCP, because I think this is open source, and extend this to actually be able to do legitimate scrolling. Yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you all. And yeah, I appreciate everyone who chatted. And I hope to see y'all next stream. But yeah, peace out to all the homies. I've realized that on X, like there's a thumbnail on the last frame, so I'm gonna like do like a peace sign with like a cool, I don't know, like root code or something, or maybe just this code. All right. Oh shit, it's still. Wait. I don't know why it's not. It's not like. It's not stopping the stream. Okay, there we go. And yeah, everyone else, thank you so much. I'll see you all later. Peace.